Hey everybody, welcome to your crypto chart update for November 27th, 2017, the Black Friday post-Thanksgiving special edition. What are we thankful for? Well, of course, we're very thankful for 100, 200% increases in the price of Bitcoin and a lot of other cryptocurrencies. It's been a long time since I've been here. I was visiting the States, I was doing a lot of other work, also helping a lot of people get into the cryptocurrency space personally, and it's been a pretty insane couple of weeks, and I really appreciate you guys waiting for me and holding on tight. In the meantime, I have been posting on my TradingView blog, so you can always see the ideas that I'm thinking about and what coins I'm looking at, my targets, my stops, and all the trades that I'm making, and that's at tradingview.com under the name Berlin Trader 591. Please follow me there, guys, and send me a message with your chart request and any questions you have about what I'm doing. I really want to make this an exchange of ideas and help people who don't really know what they're doing to get a leg up on the competition, and also not to make all those beginning mistakes that we all make in the beginning of our trading careers, and things that can really be a disaster when things head south. We're going to talk about a lot of the crazy moves in all the currencies today and go over the last couple of weeks of action and what we can expect at the end of the year and in the beginning of 2018. And at the same time, we want to look at what measures can we take to protect ourselves from any big downturns while also taking advantage of this insane parabolic move, because we know this has to end. There is no way this can continue without a correction. Now, if you're holding long term, you might be fine, you might be able to get through that, and you can say, and you can see in 10 years the price might be 100,000 or 50,000 or a million or whatever. But if you're trading more short term, even in terms of months or even in terms of within the next year, then you might face some stress if the market drops 50 or 60 or 75%. If you haven't seen that before, you really don't know how you're going to react. I have a lot of friends who say, you know what, I'm going to make an ETF out of the cryptocurrencies. I'm going to invest 10% in the top 10 coins. I'm going to rebalance every month and adjust my portfolio. And if the market falls 50% or 25%, I'm going to buy more. I'm going to invest more of my money into the space. Now that sounds great, but let me tell you something. I've had experienced this myself, and I know a lot of people that when the time comes, when the rubber hits the road and you need to put in more money to something that's crashing and something that everyone is kind of coming out against, and the media is saying it's over and the government is putting regulations on it, at that moment, are you really going to invest? And I don't know if we can all be so sure. So what I more recommend is that when that crash comes, you're not exposed to the fall. You're out of the market, you're flat, you're in dollars, you're in fiat, or you really have a long-term plan and your cryptocurrencies are in a hardware wallet somewhere in a safe, under the floorboards in a USB stick, and you're not going to touch it and you just forget about it. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff. And as always, I'm your host, Tim, a retail investor and journalist, and you can find my regular chart and trade recommendations on tradingview.com or Twitter under Berlin Trader 591. Today's video is also brought to you by CryptoKing.org, which is a great source for the latest crypto news as well as these videos. Also, if you really appreciate the work that I'm doing, I would love if you click through some of my affiliate links and check out some of those services like wallets like Trezor or Ledger Nano, TradingView.com charts, Coinbase if you're going to buy your first coins, because all of these links will send a little piece my way and give you a little discount, and it just helps me to continue taking the time to look at all these charts. Remember guys, this analysis is for entertainment purposes only, and I do not endorse any of these trade ideas or advise you to take them. Please contact your registered financial advisor. But without further ado, let's get into the charts. So here we are with the big kahuna. As always, we're starting with Bitcoin. I mean, what else can you start with? The big news is that we are approaching that 10,000 level. I really didn't think we'd get here that soon, to be honest, but here we are coming close to 10,000. And last time we talked in the beginning of November, we were only around 5,600 or 6,000. So we've almost doubled in price, if not almost doubled in price, since the beginning of the month. Just an insane run, 100% increase in price. And the big question is, what's going to happen? What's going to happen at that 10,000 level? Are we going to turn over, or are we going to bust through it? And there's predictions on both sides, right? I mean, my Fibonacci levels, if we look here on my analysis, which I've already done, if we check out my Fib levels, a little confusing. One second, let me get some of this junk off the chart. Yeah, if we look at my Fib levels here, taking the retracement of the last pullback in November, the Fib levels bring us to 10,284. And if we look at the retracement back in September, then the Fib levels bring us to 10,113. So that's the 361.8 retracement for the September decline, and the 200 retracement for projection for the November decline. So we have two Fib levels lining up at around 10,000. Not to mention, 10,000 is a very psychological level. Those round numbers seem to give us some action because people are trading around those numbers. We have psychological, people are organisms, right? We have to make a limit. It doesn't matter for a computer, but humans think with round numbers because it's easier. So at 10,000, are people going to buy in, or are they going to sell? Well, that's where the test is going to rear its head. Are we going to turn over and people take profits, or are we going to bust through and a new, let's say, a new generation of buyers on the sidelines is going to step in? If we go above 10,000, I mean, I've heard just the people that I wouldn't have ever imagined, people that are so far from investing have mentioned Bitcoin to me, and should they buy some because they don't want to miss out. So you really have this huge FOMO in the atmosphere. Everyone out there is scared of missing out because their friends are getting rich. You have friends that are making $100,000 in a couple of months, and here you are sitting on the sidelines. And when those scared people finally start to get in, then the bubble is really getting thin, right? But it could still go much higher, and you have some predictions going up to 100,000, some predictions that are looking for the bubble to pop. But less and less do I see the bubble's going to pop predictions, and more do I see parabolic predictions to 100,000, and that's again a sign that we might see a pullback. But at this point, it still looks strong. My target is 10,000. I'm playing that level. When we get to 10,000, I'm going to take some profits just because that's where my target is. And if we break out above 10,000, well, so be it. I'm going to miss out on that. But if we see a pullback, that's another chance to get in. Anytime we see one of these V reversals in Bitcoin, it's really been a chance to get in all throughout the history of this run over 2017. Every pullback has been met with a V reversal. So until that trend breaks, we're going to follow it. So again, right now we're playing that run to 10,000. Is it a good time to enter now? Well, long term, sure, just buy a coin, and if you think it's going to 100,000, just sit on it for years. But as a trade, it might not be the best time. I would wait to see what happens at 10,000. If we sit around 10,000 and consolidate, and then we break out on strong volume, then buy in. If we sit around and we crash back down, wait until we hit a support level around the old breakout, around maybe 8,000, and buy in there. But right now, you don't have so much to gain, but you do have more to lose. It's always about risk reward. So yeah, Bitcoin is going strong. And what we've seen is that before the SegWit 2x split failed, we saw a lot of people buying into Bitcoin. That was, I guess, around here. We saw a lot of people buying into Bitcoin, and the other coins didn't see so much movement. So if we look at Ethereum, for example, around that early November period, there was just a lot of sideways consolidation. If we look at this chart, right, there was just a lot of sideways consolidation. Here's November, and we just went sideways. So everyone was buying into Bitcoin, waiting for that SegWit 2x to split and fork and get their free coins, and nothing happened. So what did we see? Well, we saw after that split, we saw a lot of money go into BCH. So here's Bitcoin Cash. After that SegWit 2x failure, we saw Bitcoin Cash just rocket up to an insane level. I mean, 2,500, just insanity. Here's another chart from Kraken, and again, we saw a run up a little bit before SegWit, and then we saw a little consolidation around that SegWit announcement. But when it turned out that it wasn't going to happen, it just shot up to 2,500. And since then, we've been kind of volatilely consolidating sideways. What's going to happen? Will it go down? Will it go up? You know, again, I don't know. It could really go either way. My bias at the moment is up because we're in a bubble, and it's just that every coin is going up. So it doesn't really matter what coin you're in, they're all going up. And in a bull market, that's quite typical, right? I mean, people that just hold these coins are going to make more money than people trading actively, because if you're going in and out, you're missing the full maximum percentage increase. So if you're just holding right now, you're probably making more money than if you're going in and out. But active trading and going in and out is just going to increase your ability to deal with the downswings when we head into it, because you cannot predict the top. If you're just holding, if you're hodling until the highest point, no one knows when that is. So you're really just gambling, unless you're holding really for the long term, 5-10 years down the road. So anyway, what happened? That SegWit 2 did not occur. That split did not occur. And after that, we saw money flowing out of Bitcoin into Bitcoin Cash, and also into other altcoins like Dash. We saw a huge run up, and we're still seeing the effects of that November run. We had a little pullback, and then we kept going. Amazing run on Dash. I was in that, but man, I wish I had held on longer, right? As always, I saw that consolidation for 3 months, 3-month consolidation. We broke out there clearly on a strong candle, and we consolidated once, then we had twice, and now here we are kind of entering the third wave, the third consolidation, A, 1, B, C, and here we are, on that 1, 2, third wave. If you look at Elliott wave, I'm not an Elliott wave expert, but we're into that third consolidation here, and maybe we head up again, but eventually, we're going to see a correction at some point. And we've always seen that with Dash. We've seen a correction here, then another correction. So probably we're going to get something like that, back down to this level and go up again. But is it a good time to enter Dash? Again, it looks great. Maybe it goes up a bit more, but the odds right now are more to the downside, so it's probably not the best entry. And looking at Ethereum, that's another, that's a coin that I pointed out on tradingview.com. If you check out my blog, we were on top of that coin, on the breakout. That breakout of this downward trending trend line around 300, we got in there. Then we had the breakout of 400, the all-time high breakout, and we got in on there. And now if we look at the 60-minute chart, we have a consolidation sideways, and it looks pretty good right now for an entry. We had that breakout of 400. Actually, this is textbook. I mean, that's what I love about cryptos. They're volatile, but man, they act out technically perfect. People that say technical analysis doesn't work do not trade cryptos. We broke out of that 400. We came back and retested that level. Then we bounced off that level. Perfect support bounce right here. We now are consolidating in a picture-perfect pennant flag pattern, and we just broke out a few hours ago of that pattern, and now we're retesting that pattern. And if we can hold this upper trend line, we're going to bounce off it again. So we just see these breakouts, pullbacks, breakout, pullback, test, bounce, consolidate, breakout, pullback, test, bounce, consolidate, break, right? We're just following those patterns. So it's a pretty beautiful thing. Ethereum looks great. It's a good entry now for a trade. And you can check out my targets on TradingView on the blog. I have all those targets and stops listed out, and you can send me a message there or leave a comment in the YouTube video. We check out the other coins. Litecoin, did a similar thing. It consolidated. Then we had the failure. It's kind of gone up from there. And yeah, Litecoin is kind of heading up towards that pretty impressive upward broadening trend line that connects all the tops at somewhere around 150. So I think you could see this pausing around 100, which are those all-time highs, and then if we can break out, we're going to head to 150. And if this thing goes parabolic, if these coins, before Christmas, if people start pumping money into them and we get institutional money coming in before the end of the year, I mean, this could be a real crazy blow up. And that's usually what happens at the end of a bubble, right? You have this blow off top and it's just like a volcano exploding, a killer whale's blowhole just splash into the air, explosion, and then everything comes crashing down. And so if you're in that, you better be careful. Here comes anything else from my bigger coins? Not really. Let's go to the kind of the mid caps. Let's go to XMR, Monero. Oh, I really like Monero. Looks really good. We've consolidated sideways in this really nice cup. Now we're kind of making a little handle above that those former highs, or right at that former high level. We're consolidating. Looks really healthy. If we can break out above that 175, then I think our first target is 213, and then on to 246. Looks pretty healthy. We're consolidating around those highs. We have strong bullish volume. The 200-day is upward sloping, and we are overbought in the RSI. That means we're above 70. So yeah, Monero looks like a good place to trade right now. Good risk reward. Going into Ripple, actually this is one I've kind of been frustrated on because it's one of the few coins that hasn't broken out, even though I thought it would be one of the better candidates, because we have this long, heavy consolidation since May. Wow, what a consolidation. I think it's still going to break out. I just think, all the altcoins, all the crypto coins are breaking out. They're showing strength, and Ripple is just sitting there, and that can either mean it's weak, it's the only coin that's not breaking out, it could be a sign of weakness that if it can't break out now, it's never going to break out, or it probably means that funds just haven't moved to Ripple yet. They're waiting for some news. We're waiting for some piece of news to come out that says Ripple is now used by blah 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 banking system, or Ripple has a new deal with blah 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 network, and when that happens, that means it's going to get the attention and funds are going to flow into it. And we've seen that Dash is a little extended. Litecoin is getting extended. Bitcoin is getting extended. So where's that money going to go? Well, Ripple is one of the contenders to receive those outflows, and people just want the money to keep flowing. So they're going to look for the next kick. People aren't scared. They just want to get 100% return a day. So I think Ripple is a great candidate. Still think it's going to break out. It's just that it hasn't yet. If we go to more altcoins, again, we just look at all the coins. Look at IOTA breaking out of this upward trend line. PIVX, one I've been always talking about, finally getting some good play off of that support level and coming up. I hope this time it really does make a break and give us some serious action. OMG, again, breaking out of that consolidation flag. I mean, we had a run up until the summer, and then we consolidated until the summer, and now we're breaking out. I mean, this is the basic pattern of Ethereum and a basic pattern of a lot of the coins, right? We had this huge run up in the summer, we consolidated for a few months, and now we're breaking out again. Okay, we've kind of left the landmines of all of the hard forks. We don't have any hard forks coming up in the next days or weeks, and we have everyone's in the holiday mood, so it's just money's coming in. That's the long and short of it. Neo, yeah, same thing. Look at that, consolidating for a few months, breaking out now of that consolidation, retest and go. So again, similar patterns, strength, seeing strength everywhere. Stellar, Lumens also doing great. Consolidation pattern here, coming down, then breaking out, retest, bouncing. Now it's consolidating again, and we can break out of that support level or that resistance level. We'll probably see a breakout there, and right now, yeah, everything looks strong. So I would also use these altcoins as a sign, right? If the altcoins start to fail, right, you might see Bitcoin continue its rise because people are going to sell altcoins into Bitcoin. They're going to transfer their altcoins into Bitcoin before taking it out into dollars or euros. So we want to keep an eye out on these altcoins. As long as these altcoins are going strong, Bitcoin's going to go strong because people are going to put money into Bitcoin so they can use the altcoins. So when we see weakness in these altcoins, when we see a lot of them going red instead of green, a lot of these things being extended, we see a lot of extension. For example, we see breakouts and they go for, you know, a nice while, but then they start to get stuck up here. That's probably when we're going to see some weakness and some pullbacks, and you're going to see that end up in Bitcoin. But that's a great warning sign for us to realize, okay, things are wrapping up here. Let's take our funds and move on before everyone heads for the exits and figures out what's going on in Bitcoin. Okay, so that's basically it. We're seeing huge run-ups after the SegWit 2x split. We see our leader Bitcoin trying to hit 10,000. And it's just bringing more people into the space. Right now, everything's going crazy. Everything's going up. You really can't lose if you invest in the bigger coins, the top 10, the top 20 coins. You're really not going to lose. So I would just look for good patterns, things that are breaking out and not things that are extended. And don't forget to take your profits, because at some point there's going to be a downturn, and we can use the altcoins to give us a signal. But it may come with no warning. So you just want to make sure that you take profits when you can. Take your profits early and honor your stops as well, you know. All right, guys. It's good to be back, and hope to do some more of these in the future. Hit me up, PM me, direct message me, and as always, please support me by using my affiliate links or sending me a nice tip to one of the tip jars below. And hey, I hope you guys all make some money. Peace.